And I am so sick today, but I have one more in me. So I'm going to share another story with you guys about guidance from the Holy Spirit and what that looks like. If you're open to hearing and you're open to receiving, God will really guide you. I'm going to give you an example here today because I was speaking about this with my mom and my dad because obviously I'm not feeling great today. I'm pretty under the weather, and we were just talking about COVID. My father had long COVID, and he's still somewhat suffering from it. Like, it just really affected his mind and it gave him so much anxiety. The vaccine also caused my dad to have heart arrhythmia, and he had to have a surgery. And the doctor actually noted it as an adverse effect of the vaccine. There is no question that the vaccine caused my dad to have heart surgery. My mom was very, very sick with COVID for a long time, and it's just really affected our family. So, in so many other heartbreaking, very, very heartbreaking ways that I am not privy to share here. They're not my stories to share. But I will say that my family's been deeply and profoundly affected by it. So we're talking about this today because I don't feel good, and it reminded me of this time when it's like the height of COVID and none of the doctors were giving medicine. You couldn't get hydrochloroquine, you couldn't get ivermectin, you couldn't even so much as get a Z-Pak from the doctor's office at that time. You were just, if you had COVID, your option was to go in the hospital and, whatever happened in there happened. I had called my dad. I received word from a friend of mine about a website called America's Frontline Doctors, and I called my dad. I ordered my medicine pack. It came with albuterol and vitamin D and all kinds of ivermectin and hydrochloroquine and everything I needed. And then I remember I called my dad and I was like, listen, I need for you and mom to get your own packs of this medicine. And my dad's such a rule follower. People wonder where I get it from, but he's such a rule follower. And he said, Kim, I can't do that now. I can't just go online and just go get medicine. You've got to have a prescription for it. And I go, they're doctors. It's fine. Just go online, go fill this out. You're going to get your medicine. And he was kind of fighting me on it. And I was like, you do this. You get the medicine. I'm not going to argue with you. And I went, I just blew my lid. I was so you are going to do this. We are going to get this medicine. I don't care. And he was so sweet. I sat on the phone, and this is how I know it was a miracle, because I sat on the phone with my dad for an hour and a half while we worked through the entire website, click by click by click, to get the medicine for him and for my mom. And they had it ready to pick up at a pharmacy that was about 45 minutes to an hour away from where my dad lived. So I was like, oh, set it for pickup and just go over there and go pick it up. He says, I'm going to have to go pick up this medicine. I said, what else do you have to do? Just go get the medicine. So he's in the car and he's driving, and he calls me. He says, okay, now I'm on my way to go get this medicine, Kim. Look, I hope this makes you feel so much better. I'm like, it does, Daddy. Thank you. I was a pill about it. Then a few minutes later, and I mean minutes later, he called me and he said, well, you're not going to believe this. Your mother's just come back from the doctor and she's got COVID. And my mom has a lot of lung problems. She has a lot of asthma. She's had lung infections her entire life. And, we just knew that if she got COVID, it was going to be really hard on her, which it was. It almost killed her. And so when he called me and he said, your mom's got COVID, and then what was the timing of that? That my mom was diagnosed with COVID as he was driving to go get the medicine. That wasn't available. It wasn't available anywhere else. And of course, the doctor gave her nothing. But my dad came home with 2 boxes of medicine that he was able to administer to my mom and for himself. And it saved her life, and it saved his life. And they suffered for a long time with COVID, but if they didn't have that medicine, if they didn't have the albuterol, if they didn't have the inhalers, if they didn't have everything that came in that kit. And America's Frontline Doctors really saved my parents' life, but it was also the Holy Spirit, because the way that I was relentless, that they were going to get this medicine. And I didn't care how much it cost. And I didn't care how long it took me sitting on the phone with him. He was going to get this medication. I didn't care how. That didn't come from me. Something took over that made that happen. And that was the Holy Spirit. I absolutely credit God for saving their life. My mom and my dad both have a lot of things that they've been doing since they got sick initially. They're months away from having their second great grandchild. How amazing and beautiful. And they got to witness the birth of another grandchild since then. And my mom and my dad just have a lot left to do. And it wasn't their time. And the Spirit knew it, and God knew it, that no matter what, that Satan was going to be able to take them out at that time. And very rarely do we get to be the instrument, but in this case, I got to be the instrument, and it feels amazing. But don't think for a second I think it was me. It wasn't me. It was the Holy Spirit. It was God 100% of the way. You know, the Holy Spirit is always guiding us. Sometimes it's like an image in our mind. Sometimes it's sound. Sometimes it's a feeling. And sometimes it's just a knowing. Sometimes it's an inability not to take action. You have to do something. You have to say something. I wanted to share that with you guys because on this day when I'm feeling really sick and I don't feel great, it's such a good reminder that God is always looking out for us, and that as long as you just follow that guidance of the Holy Spirit, don't ever let anybody tell you you're wrong. You listen and you be obedient and you follow the instructions of God. You're going to be just fine. I hope you guys are inspired by this message and that you have a really great rest of your day. Thanks.